Hey everyone, here I am again. I hope you had a good week. So on this video, what I want to talk about is is our mind and our brain basically. And I mentioned last time that our brain has two different parts. One is the conscious mind, and the other one is the unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind, I look at it as the 90% that we don't utilize, and I think that's the one that is more powerful and that can actually create the things in our lives that we want, and that can actually make us do things without even thinking about something. So that's the one that we need to get on our side in order to achieve our goals in a more effective way. As I also mentioned last time, that our minds or our brains, we were kind of born like an empty book, so it's just like nothing, and as we go through certain kind of experiences in our life, we add to some sort of a database to build up different kind of beliefs. And our beliefs, I mean, that's the key word here. Our beliefs determine who we are and what we can do. Because if we believe in something that we can do or we can't do, then that's what's going to happen. And the thing is, with most people, it happens in a negative way. Like when we thought about something that, maybe in our life at one point something came up and we said, well, can you do this? Well, maybe I can't, maybe I can, because you haven't done it before. You don't really know whether you can do it or you can't. But as us people, generally, we tend to think slightly negatively. So we would normally say, oh, I don't think I can do that, based on something else that, usually I'm not very good with these kind of things, let's say. And at the end, you still end up trying it. And what happens, because you thought you probably won't be able to pull it off, then you fail. And if you fail, then in your brain, like a little inner voice just comes up. You see, I told you, you can't do this. And then it just became a bit stronger. And then you may try it another time, and then you fail again, and the voice comes up again saying, you see, I told you, you can't do this. And then you start to become like, oh yeah, okay, that's, no, I won't be able to do this at all, because this is who I am, that's it. And you just kind of, make a statement, that's what you are, and that's it. And then from that point onward, you just took yourself out of the game for that kind of thing. And that's not a good thing. And us people, if we have already built up this bad database, what we need to do is we need to kind of break it down. It's almost like carving, out of a piece of wood, because that's the main point of self development. I think, to develop ourselves into our best shape. So maybe we were carving our own figure, but maybe we carved it in the wrong way, and there is a big mistake. And it can be still corrected. All we need to do is make the actual statue that we are carving slightly smaller, and then you can get rid of the actual defective part or something, and you can still be our best selves, and that's what we're trying to do. Well, that's what I'm trying to do, and I hope that's what you are trying to do as well, and that's what I'm encouraging you to try to do, because that's one of the ways to be more happy in life. And just cheating a little bit. Basically, it's about beliefs, as I said. And I don't know if you know any people around you that believe certain things. For example, that they just not able to put up weight because they are always skinny, or is the opposite when they say, I'm always fat, I'm just gaining weight whatever I eat. Or the person who said, "Oh, I'm never get sick because I'm just not the kind of getting sick kind of person." And those are beliefs. And usually, because they believe this very strongly, the person who thinks he never really gets sick, he never really gets sick. And but I think that's because of his beliefs, and not because that's really true or something. But he probably does things unconsciously that makes him not become sick, because he's taking kind of caution in certain things in his life or something. Anyway, we'll get to that a bit later. What I wanted to say basically is that this is what we need to play with, this sort of a belief in our head, because if we manage to break this down into a good level, then we will, we will crack the code and we can be more successful in life. And yeah, once we start to build up successes, then the inner voice will actually say, you see, you can do this, and then you see, you can do this, and you can just basically build up. So there are two ways how the big guys do this, which is pretty much in all personal development books. But, well, I thought I still just wanted to share with you. So, number one, I'm going to write it down on this paper. It is... It's affirmations. So I don't know if you know what affirmations are, but affirmations are just things that we want to become, or, well, it's saying things that we want to become, or what we want to achieve to our unconscious mind, because sooner or later our unconscious mind will start to believe those things. And if our unconscious mind believes something, we will eventually start to do things in according to that. So if we think that we are able to do something, and even if at that point we are not able to do something, at the end our mind unconsciously takes us to ways or to people, or we basically end up meeting with the people that know what we want to know, and we basically pick up the knowledge from them. And it's all unconscious, Maybe after a certain while you say, you see, I told you I can do this. But maybe you don't even realize that you actually learned it on the way. You didn't know it when you said that you know it, but you just picked it up because you firmly believe that you actually know that sort of thing. And this is the whole magic of this. There are two rules in here. So once we do affirmations, first we need to say it out loud. And it also needs to be in present tense. So it's not like I will or I was. It's I am. So, if we have something, we just need to say, I am 73 kilograms, or I am slim, or I am something. The more specific it is, it's better, because then again, it gets to, it has more, it's standing on more legs, this whole statement, not just like, I'm slim. So what does slim mean, but when you say, you want to be 50 kilograms or whatever, you say, I'm 50 kg, that's it, bomb. And then your brain knows, okay, 50 kg, that's the number he wants. Okay, let's work towards it. And then your brain basically, start to tell you unconsciously things that that will actually make you end up lose weight or gain weight, if that's what you want really. And that will be the key. And one other important thing, that this has to be in a positive statement. So it shouldn't be something that you're denying, saying, I am not fat, for example. You need to say, I am slim. I don't know if you see the difference, but there is a big difference, because when you say I'm not fat, then you're basically focusing on being fat, and you just don't want that. But the mind doesn't care what you don't want. The mind just cares, it just sees fat, and then that's what you're gonna get. Okay, so make sure it is a positive statement about yourself or what you want to achieve. Number two, I'm gonna write it down. It's called visualization. Okay, so this is something what we do, and we basically imagine the things that we want, that it already exists in our life, and we try to feel exactly how we would feel once it was with us. Okay, so if it's one certain thing that you want to get, if it's like a subject or like a piece of thing that you want, then you need to imagine you can either close your eyes, or you can either look at a photo and imagine that you have that thing. So this is the sort of pen that I wanted. Then I imagine what would it feel to have this pen, and what would it feel to write with this pen. Or in my kind of example, if I want to buy a house, I know what street is on this house, or what this house is. What street this house is on. So I usually walk to the area, and I took a video of the area when I'm walking on the street. I also have certain photos on my wall right next to my fridge, so in the morning when I'm making the coffee, I spend 10 minutes just looking at it, and also kind of dreaming, what is it that I want? I can even show you, okay? So that's right here. That's my, what I call like the vision board, and those are the things that I would like to achieve in my life, and I keep just dreaming about it. And well, I know it sounds like, a bit of abracadabra or whatever, but it actually works, because the more often you just need to repeat this, the more often you repeat this to your mind, the affirmations and the visualizations, your mind, at the end just says, you know what, if this is what you want, I just believe, it kind of wears off. I mean, don't forget that the older you are, you have these beliefs built up throughout the years. So if you're 30 something years old, you were building that for 30 something years. So you obviously can't break it down in 2 days. Yeah, what you built up in 30 days. It's going to take, it's not going to take 30 years, so you don't need to worry, but it will take longer than 2 days. So what I ask you to do is, well, what I'm doing is spending 10 minutes for that and 10 minutes for the other bit, so literally 20 minutes every morning, which is not a big thing really. If everyone has 20 minutes, you can just wake up maybe 20 minutes earlier if your day is really super tight and super booked up. This will be much better, because then your whole day will feel much better. And I want to share one example with you on this. It happened when my father was 50 years old, and I wanted to surprise him. He always wanted to go to Greece, and I made a surprise sort of travel with him. I mean, obviously I flew him to London to visit me for 2 weeks, and then I booked a 5-day holiday in Greece. And I told him before the flight that we will fly to Ireland, just to see something. And he totally believed it, by the way. And then luckily he didn't even know until we were on the plane. And before in my head, I imagined it like 1,000 times, how I'm going to say to him, what he's going to look like when I tell him, we're not actually flying to Ireland, we are flying to Greece. And I imagined his face, what he's going to say, what he's going to do, how he's going to feel. And when I booked the hotel, I tried to book the best place, the best hotel, the best location and everything. So I spent weeks. The whole planning phase was like 2 months. And those 2 months was so good, because I kept thinking about this, and it made my day much better. Even if this thing never became true, because I kept thinking about this, it already, just sort of uplifted my days. And that's the key. Because even when I went to work, I remember back then I was working in Starbucks. When I went to work and I had a really shitty day or whatever, like, people would try to be rude, I just didn't care, because in my head I was super happy. I was thinking, oh, what's going to happen when we go there? And this is already a major improvement to become more happy. So if you think about what you want in your life constantly, you will feel better anyway, even if it won't happen, but it will actually happen as well. This is why I'm telling you, if you do this, you won't really lose anything, because even if you don't win the actual lottery or whatever, you already feel better, because you keep reliving the actual feeling what you will feel. And there are some really good tricks to that really as well. Like if it's a car, you can take it for a test drive, so you can actually imagine what it feels like to sit in that car, and then take a lot of photos or whatever. There are just lots of ways. I mean, just get creative and then just do it, okay? So this was the thing that I wanted to share with you on this video today, and I hope you liked it, and hopefully you will actually take my words and do what I told you. Not because I told you, but just because you see the actual advantage. I do feel the advantage, and I think it's great. So I wish you the best, and have a good day. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know, and I'm happy to answer. Take care. Bye.